Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 878. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's up, guys?
What's up, Connor?
May the force be with you.
Connor Farley. All right. Holy shit! Freaking awesome! Rogue One, I fucking called it. I said, this motherfucker's going to come in there. And then, oh! Shit, I couldn't fucking take that shit. But besides that end, spoilers, by the way, I'm going to have to put in the title, this movie was so incredible. I mean, I was so psyched. The kids weren't psyched like I was psyched. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. This is going to be your favorite Star Wars movie. Holy shit. They're like, no, right? We went there. I had my freaking hat on, representing. Holy shit, man. Extra money, what it cost? Some tickets, who gives a shit? Whatever. Went in there, ordered my tickets in advance, whatever. We went there. Now, I got to say, it was so weird without the crawl.
It was, yeah.
I felt like something was missing from my life, and I didn't know what it was, but I was like, all right. We got into it. But let me tell you something. These characters were original. These characters are realistic. Like, good guys doing bad things. Shit happens, just like Han Solo shot Greedo, but they tried to erase it. Listen, they all died, but you know what? Unfriggin' believable. I can't even tell you how I just was speechless. And I was just loving it because we actually got to see what fucking happens when people go to war. Throw every fucking thing at that shit. Fucking AT-AT walkers, motherfuckers, like everywhere. Every X-Wings, fucking holy TIE fighters, fucking Star Destroyers, fucking, oh my God. It was on fucking shit happening at once. And fucking shit from the first Star Wars movie, A New Hope, like they put the guys in there and fuck, oh my God, man. It was just, I was a child. I was a fucking child again. And I fucking loved every minute of it. Off the charts. Off the fucking charts. Fucking will go see that shit I don't know how many fucking times. Amazing. What do you have to say, Chris?
No, I liked it as pretty much as you just said. I was a big fan of it. I think the to be honest with you, I think the last scene is probably my second favorite scene. Because I mean that one definitely made me jump out of my chair or nearly jump out of my chair. I was so happy that they actually did something like that with him. But I got to tell you, my favorite scene of the movie, and like I said, we're getting into spoiler territory. The reason that this is my favorite scene of the movie has to do with how this one made me feel the most out of any of the scenes. And it was really simple, and it might sound strange, but it was the scene where Krennic goes to Vader's castle.
I fucking love that.
I'm almost certain that that's Mustafar, because Pablo Hidalgo, he hinted that it was.
Fucking love that shit.
Vader coming out of the bacta tank, like, freaked me out. Just the way that they raised him out of there and you couldn't really see him, but you could hear the breathing. That scene, I was just like mesmerized by that scene. Right. And then, of course, him going in and talking to Krennic. And I have to say, Ben Mendelsohn, unbelievable performance in this movie.
My God.
He killed it as Director Krennic. I mean, he was awesome. And another thing, too. I know that this has been a topic of debate recently for this movie. People either love it or hate it. But I thought the CGI for Tarkin was amazing.
Oh, fucking hell yeah. Fuck that. That was amazing.
I thought it was fantastic.
That was amazing. Fuck that shit. Come on.
What was I going to say? Another thing that I'm seeing a lot of, and this is the main complaint of the movie, has to do with the characters. And they're saying fleshed out enough and whatnot. I thought that they were fine for what they were.
They were perfect.
I think people are expecting like a trilogy kind of like flesh out with these characters.
No.
That was never going to happen. So I'm fine with the way these characters were. I think they made the Death Star look amazing. I'm glad they explained that they weren't using it at its full power.
Yeah.
And that's why it wasn't doing what it did to Alderaan. I'm glad that Jimmy Smits was in the movie. I'm glad that you mentioned Obi-Wan Kenobi, not by name, but he hinted at him.
Yep.
There were a couple of things from Rebels in there.
Yeah.
2 characters from Rebels were in the movie. Well, one was mentioned, one was actually in the movie. So we know at least those 2 characters make it up till that point. Other than that, Gareth Edwards nailed it again, I think. And I got to tell you, I'm really disappointed now that he's not doing Godzilla King of Monsters.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm so disappointed.
Absolutely now. We watched New Hope right after.
Yeah.
Right? Fucking week. Joe put it on Facebook. Fucking right after, man. And I'm talking New Hope, VHS, shot first, fucking real version. That's what we watched. All right, Connor, what do you have to think about the movie?
This is my favorite Star Wars film. For 4 days, I've been debating, is Empire my favorite or is Rogue One my favorite? It's that tight. It's suffocating. Like, which is my favorite? I have decided Rogue One is my favorite. Something about that film is extraordinary. I don't know whether it's the grittiness. I don't know whether it's the fact that for a Star Wars film, the fact that they've portrayed war in that way is unbelievable. Like that is Saving Private Ryan sort of shit.
There was so much shit going on in that movie.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. That was a brutal...
Could I just add something to that, Connor? I don't mean to cut you off or anything.
Yeah.
I have a friend that I go to school with. He was a military videographer. And he's been in like combat situations and whatnot, and he's seen all the stuff. He's recorded events and whatnot. He got on Facebook and he told me that invasion scene with Rogue One was one of the best military scenes he's ever seen in a movie. And that I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I absolutely adore war films, and I have to agree that invasion scene was absolutely beautiful. It was fucking beautiful.
Fucking breathtaking.
The standout performance, Ben fucking Mendelsohn. Krennic is up there with me, with Vader. The fact that he can stand up to Tarkin as he did was fucking unbelievable. He really is. Just that verbal fight that they have when the sort of there's a power struggle for who's gonna run the Death Star. Like Ben Mendelsohn, there's so much power in his voice and in his posture and everything. He's the perfect villain. It's a shame that he was portrayed as the sort of villain that was a failure because he was unlucky. He was powerful, but he was unlucky.
Oh, he's fucking massively unlucky.
Yeah, massively. He didn't have the luck that Tarkin had in A New Hope. He certainly didn't have the presence and the fear factor that Vader's got, and Palpatine even, to a certain degree. And for what he did and what he had, he fucking blew the screen wide. It was bloody amazing. The Tarkin CGI was, I was thinking, that's Peter Cushing. He's dead, but somehow that's Peter Cushing because the actor sounded exactly like him.
Yeah.
It looked exactly like him. It didn't even look a bit like an animation to me. I'm not sure whether that's because of the quality of the screen I was watching.
They spent a lot of money for that. A lot.
Yeah, that's a game changer in film.
Oh yeah.
The characters for something that's not a trilogy, perfectly fleshed out. I think Felicity Jones for the main characters did an amazing job. But Donnie Yen as Chirrut, God, oh my God, as a Jedi sort of.
I know.
He wasn't a Jedi, was he? He was like a.
I like how they did the religion.
He was like a monk, wasn't he? Some sort of samurai monk.
Cassian called him and Baze. He said that they were guardians of the wills, which that blows canon. Like that one line could possibly make the rest of the Force Awakens and that trilogy if they're going to do what I think they're going to do with that.
Yeah.
But one thing that sets this movie apart from even the original trilogy is how it made the rebellion look as callous, as cruel, as desperate as maybe the Empire were.
Yeah.
Because in the original trilogy, you could almost accuse the rebellion of having clean hands. There's no blood on their hands. In this, they call for the assassination of Saw Gerrera. They call for the assassination of Galen Erso. They have blood on their hands throughout the whole of this.
Yeah.
They are in the same position as the Empire are. This is a full-on combat. This is war.
Right.
There's desperate measures that need to be taken.
Fuck it. Yeah, I know.
That's one thing that made this movie stand out above the rest of the Star Wars films, I think. It was true to reality. The characters were insane. Every one of them was perfectly written. Mads Mikkelsen, perfect.
Oh yeah, he was great.
I love him in Casino Royale. He's even better in this. He really
Doctor
is.
Strange was great too.
Yeah, I would say so. Just unbelievable. And I'm going to see it again on Friday because it's that unbelievable.
Fucking, I gotta tell you, like, I just love, especially when, like, he's like, oh, Lord Vader will take you.
The one thing that jarred me was the line in that palace, which is Chris's favourite scene. Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, director. Unfortunately, that's the one thing that was really the only bad point because it sounded like George Lucas wrote it.
I can get past that. But
and the ending, like, Jesus, favourite Star Wars moment ever. I mean, that's going to be cliche to say in about a month's time, but it is. It's my favourite.
That fucking changed the way you look at all the fucking Star Wars movies because you're like, I'm telling you, I watched that and I'm like, I knew that's the way he is. And I'm saying to myself, you know what? When he fought Obi-Wan, he was being fucking soft. He was fucking just, he maybe thought it out after a while and said to himself, you know what? Obi-Wan had to do it. I don't blame him anymore. And now he's an old guy. And I'm not going to come at him full force. I'm going to have to show some respect there as an old friend. But I work for the Empire, and that's my thing. So I got to say, I look at it totally different. Because if he was like that, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, if he was like that to Obi-Wan, and if he was like that to Luke, forget about it.
Well, I agree. If he would have done that to Luke in Empire or Jedi, he would have.
It would be over.
With Obi-Wan, I don't think so.
Really?
Yes, because the one thing that a lot of people don't give Obi-Wan credit for is he was one of the best duelists of any era.
Right.
Vader couldn't do that to him, even in his old age. Vader could have tried, but Obi-Wan would have been able to defend himself because he uses an all-defensive lightsaber.
Okay.
Do I think that he did hold back in A New Hope? Yes, but I don't think it was out of compassion for Obi-Wan. I think Vader was going in like, okay, I can't screw around with Obi-Wan because look what he did to me last time.
Right. Okay.
So I think it's
you think he held back out of fear that he might mess him up again?
I think that he said, I have to be on my game. I can't just go in there one-handed, and use the Force against because it won't work. I have to make sure I'm protecting myself because Obi-Wan is just that good. And I think throughout the battle, that's when he says your powers are weak. I think he said that because he's like, oh, he's not as powerful as he used to be, but he's still, it's still Obi-Wan Kenobi. So you don't screw around with Obi-Wan.
Right.
I think I was talking to Mike D about it, and he loved it as well. And one thing that I saw is when Vader's doing all that to all the rebels, they don't stand a chance. You realise just he is a footstep away from getting the plans back.
Yeah.
that changes the entire beginning of A New Hope.
Yeah.
Perception-wise, that's you realise just how close it really was. And that was never hinted at in the beginning of A New Hope.
Yeah, that's why he's so pissed.
Yeah.
That's why he chokes the guy at the beginning.
Yeah. But you know, it's funny, because I looked at it again, and I'm like, you know what? Now that I see Force Awakens and stuff too, right? She resisted that fucking thing. Like, when they tortured her to try to get the information out of her, she resisted probably because she was Force sensitive, possibly. You know, and then he's like, it seemed to me like he really didn't want to hurt her because maybe some semblance of him sensed that she was special. Maybe. Because he was even saying, oh, you know, we have use for her. Like, we don't have to kill her. We have use for her. They're coming after her. You know, like, basically, whatever. So I'm like, So I look at it differently now with that thing. Because he wasn't like, you know, with her, he wasn't like going to go choke her out or whatever. He was intrigued when she was able to resist that thing. And that changed his whole thing about her. Whether he didn't know that was his daughter, right? He didn't know he had kids, but he's like, I want to study this person a little more and see what this is about. Is this really, does she have the Force or not, or is it just something different?
Well, yeah, I mean, when you look at that, it was Tarkin, too, that ordered her execution, not
and Vader basically says we have need for her.
Yeah.
We have a purpose. And Vader never did that. But there's a reason behind it, because he felt that was weird that she resisted that thing. Nobody resisted the thing. So
on the subject of The Force Awakens, does it change your views on that film after seeing Rogue One? Maybe quality-wise or story-wise, or...
I'll tell you what, I was talking to Joe about this before. Yeah. The Force Awakens is my order of how I would go top three. I would go Empire, Force Awakens, Rogue One. Empire is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Mine still. It's still mine, Empire.
The Force Awakens, for me, I liked it just a little bit more than Rogue One. They're really neck and neck. I could put Rogue One before The Force Awakens, but I'm starting to see, and this was all day because I've been watching some reviews and whatnot. The Force Awakens is getting trashed.
Yeah.
By everybody. And it's not just because of Rogue One. I mean, it seems like everybody now is like, The Force Awakens, that movie was worse than the prequels. And I'm like, wait, what? Did I see the same movie? Like, what are you talking about? I mean, I don't know where it's coming from.
I don't know what that's about either. But Empire is 10 out of 10 for me. Because that will always be 10 out of 10. As far as the next goes, I mean, it's like 9.5 close. I mean, I was trying to play that in my head, and I'm like, to me, is it Star Wars: A New Hope, or is it Rogue One? You know? And I'm like saying to myself, it's Rogue One is like second place, and then it's Star Wars, and then it's Jedi, you know? And then, I mean, and then as far as Force Awakens goes, yeah, then it's Force Awakens, and then it's, you know? But, like, I gotta say, this movie was that damn good. I mean, Empire will always be the number one for me, but Rogue One's right underneath it. I mean, like, not even like 20. I'm saying, like, if it's a 10 out of 10, this is like, Rogue One is like a 999, you know? Like,
so you're saying, like, it's not as good, but it's in the same class.
It's in the same class as Empire, but just a 10 underneath it, you know? And I know a lot of people that were against Rogue One because they didn't know flashy Jedi and Sith thing or whatever. But, I mean, we had Darth Vader. We had, you know, I have to say Empires. But I'm telling you right now, for me to say Rogue One above, like, Star Wars and Jedi, I mean, first of all, of the three, I was always disappointed with Jedi because of the whole Ewok thing. I always said that. But for it to beat Star Wars for me, that's a big deal, you know? Yeah. So I got to say, like, this movie will change the way Star Wars movies are made in the future because now they got to up their game with Episode 8 because maybe people want to see that. They want to see the war.
Well, the thing is that didn't they admit it was a testing ground to see whether we wanted Star Wars every year or every 2 years? The reception to Rogue One has been absolutely unbelievable.
How would you rank them, Connor? I'm interested in what your ranking of them is.
I would say I'll go off top 4 for time purposes. Rogue One first, Empire second, Force Awakens third. Probably neck and neck for A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. Really, between them two, I don't have a preference, really. They're both sort of on the same great level. It's strange for them two, but yeah, that's my top 4.
I mean, that makes sense to me. I've seen a lot of people that are saying that Rogue One is definitely their favorite now. And that makes me really happy because it's like stuff like this can be done right in the modern day.
Yeah.
It's not always, oh, they're making a spin-off, it's going to suck. No. Look here. Here's Rogue One.
That's prequels done right.
Yeah.
That is the ultimate prequel. We don't need to remember 1 to 3 now.
That's just amazing. I'm still thinking about it. I can't take it. Oh my God. And that was the best thing ever to watch Star Wars right after that.
Yeah.
New Hope, man. I said, I'm like, and you know what? I got to say, George Lucas had it right the first time when he had Han shoot the guy, Greedo, because sometimes good guys got to do bad things. But then he gave in to some group that was complaining. And that's when you start messing with your painting, you're going to screw it up. And that's where, you see things. And you have to watch the original before special editions, before all that crap.
Well, that's funny because you say about Han Solo and Greedo. When you see that scene, you like Han Solo, but he's not all good. I would say that it was pretty much the same for Cassian when he shot the informant in the back.
Yeah, he shot that guy.
I like this guy, but he's not all that good.
Yeah.
You know what? He did that as Indiana Jones. The guy was with the swords and he just shot him.
Yeah.
And also in Firefly, the guy Malcolm Reynolds is supposed to be like Indiana Jones. He just threw the guy in the friggin' in the fan. Like that's what Han would do. Like you screw around with that. Don't change it. So. Yeah.
So I would say Cassian was actually, in opinion and in the way his character is a lot like Han Solo.
Yeah. I expect him to be like that as young Han Solo. Badass like that.
You see, this is the thing. Because of what they've done with Tarkin, why didn't they just bring Harrison Ford back and superimpose a younger face on him?
No, because he has no place in Rogue One. What are they going to do?
In the Han Solo.
In the Han Solo
well... That's different because not Hovey. That would be way expensive. I mean, you're talking millions just to do that special effect. Millions. To do the whole movie like that, it would probably cost hundreds of millions.
It's possible that they could have asked him to do something similar and he just said no.
Maybe.
It's possible. I mean, maybe.
I don't think they asked him. I think they just want the new actors.
It could be. I mean, it's possible. But, I mean, going back to Cassian really quickly for a second. I mean, when he shoots that guy at the beginning, that told us more about that character than I think anybody else in the film.
Yeah.
Because, they could have had a scene where Jyn is talking to like Mon Mothma or something like that, and she's like, "Oh, he's done bad things, but in the name of good." Okay, but instead they're like, "No, here, look what he does," and they showed it to us, and it's like, "Oh,
yeah."
So this is the type of person we're dealing with. It's little things like that. It's so simple, but it can tell you so much about a character or what they think and how they act. That just one scene, like less than a second. There you go.
Look at the way the Force was portrayed.
Yeah.
That some people, they worship it as a religion. Because they're always saying, well, may the Force be with you. Why are you saying that if you're not a Jedi or whatever? Because it is a religion. It may not be, one with the Force, but that's their religion.
Well, that's what they introduced with Lor San Tekka in The Force Awakens, because he was a part of the Church of the Force, but he's not a Jedi. But he still believes and worships the Force. Right. So, I mean, that's interesting that they're going in that way.
Yeah. I like that. That was pretty cool. So I got to tell you, I mean, these movies have got to be on the caliber of Rogue One now. They're going to make it like that.
It certainly secured a good trajectory for Star Wars now.
It's nice to know that they could have an Empire-type movie now.
Yeah, Force Awakens was brilliant. That was a great start. Rogue One was even better, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah.
So, where they're going to go with 8, Han Solo, 9, and whatever the third anthology is. It's going to be interesting.
Is Boba Fett really the third anthology or not yet?
I don't want seeing Rogue One. I don't want it to be Boba Fett. I
really want Boba Fett.
Maybe a bit under the radar, like that was.
Yeah. But now the possibilities are endless. You could have Alex Guinness in there. Yeah, I mean, you could do something. It's crazy what they could do. I got to tell you, though, I mean, like a little kid seeing Darth Vader again, I want a Darth Vader movie or trilogy. Like, I really want that. And I know it will be crazy, but let me tell you something. I want him to kick loose like he did, man. I want to see what the hell. I mean, when Chris tells me about that book and the stuff that he does in it, I'm like dying to see.
That's the stuff he does. And there's one scene in the book that's exactly like that.
Oh, Joe wants to know what that book is.
Lords of the Sith.
Lords of the Sith. All right, because I got to buy that for him. All right. Because he wants to know what books to buy. Because he wants to start.
Tell him to read Lords of the Sith, Bloodline, and...
I'm writing it down, Bloodline.
I guess the Aftermath trilogy, even though I'm not really a big fan of them, but they have so much canon information in them that it's like you almost have to read it.
He said something, Citadel, or what was the other thing? Something with a C?
Catalyst?
Catalyst, yeah.
That's the prequel to Rogue One.
Yeah, that goes into Galen Erso and Krennic's relationship.
Is that good?
Oh, I haven't read that yet.
Okay. All right. Barnes & Noble coupon. $290 million in what, 3 days?
Yeah.
Amazing. That's one of the highest things. And I mean, it's probably going to end up at $1 billion, I think. Like easy. So imagine if it would be so nice if I can't really say that. I have to track it and see, but I'm projecting it'll be $1 billion, but we'll see.
We left out a major talking point. A shame on us, I guess, but K2SO.
Oh yeah, he was fucking
one of the best droids ever.
Oh god, he was just like throwing that. Oh my god, he was such a badass. He was great though.
He had so many funny lines that when I walked out the cinema, because they were all so great, I forgot half of them.
Yeah,
because you just have all the
the kids are going to see it like a couple of times.
Yeah,
again, and unfortunately I have to work, but I'm going to try to see what I can do. We'll get the Christmas party on Saturday.
And shout out to whoever decided to use a Hammerhead Corvette as the one ship. Well done. Yes,
absolutely. That was amazing maneuver. When they crashed it down, I was like, oh, shit.
Well, that entire space battle was like CGI orgasm. It was just...
But done right. I mean, Attack of the Clones was done wrong, but that was right.
Yeah, that was just every aspect of it was just perfect.
Man, nuts.
And they did. I enjoyed the fact that they created Scarif as a planet, because having a desert planet, not desert really, desert island, sort of paradise island, sort of planet in Star Wars is because it really looked great. The blue sea and the palm trees and all of the. It was just amazing. Fantastic.
It's amazing they killed everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody got killed up, and you never had that before. You're like, oh, shit.
For a second, I thought that the only one that would survive, bizarrely, is Body Rock. But
oh, jeez.
He died. It was like, oh, shit. So it's,
Now, on Rebels, that guy's going to be back, right? That Lawrence Fishburne played?
Forrest Whitaker?
I'm sorry, Forrest Whitaker. What am I saying? Lawrence Fishburne.
Saw Gerrera. Well, let's get Lawrence Fishburne in a Star Wars movie. But,
that would be great, actually. Yeah.
Saw Gerrera, it obviously it takes place before Rogue One.
Yeah.
I have one complaint about it, though, that he's in there. He looks nothing like the character.
Yes, I saw that. He looks young.
Looks like his Clone Wars model, and I'm like, wait a minute. This is like a month or so before Rogue One.
Right.
What the hell? But I don't know. Maybe they're keeping his real design a secret.
Are they going to do Rebels as a live action?
No.
No.
Although I was happy that Chopper and Harrow got mentioned. I mean, Chopper was in the movie, in the background. The Ghost was in a couple of scenes, which is the ship that they use. And over the intercom, you hear them say General Syndulla something at the Rebel base. So we know Chopper, Hera, and the Ghost, at least those three aspects of Rebels make it out. So who knows?
Okay. Man. I bought the $13 book. Because had the posters in it of Rogue One, New Hope, and there was another poster. And Joe wants it, so I got that from them. But Joe took my hat. I was going to get him. I got to get him more. But yeah.
I'm also happy that they killed all the characters off because that annihilates the they're the Knights of Ren theory.
Right.
Thankfully.
Well, let's have a Rogue too. No.
Well, it did get a sequel.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Joe said that. He's like, I can't wait to watch the sequel to Rogue One, Star Wars New Hope. I'm like, yeah. That's great.
That is a question. How long do you think between that scene with Vader and the beginning of A New Hope do you think it was? Half a day? Half a Star Wars day? Whatever that may be.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it was very short.
Yeah, it didn't seem like an awful lot of time between the two scenes, to be honest.
Yeah, because if it was too long, then everybody would have a copy of that Death Star plans, and then they wouldn't have no need for the droids to go around to, So, yeah, absolutely. That was great. Great stuff.
Did anyone else want to yell "Don't go" when Bail Organa said I have to go back to Alderaan?
That laugh because he says I trust her with my life. I'm like, well, you shouldn't trust her. She took care of that.
Yeah, that is sad because he died. He's gonna die, and it's awful. It's awful to watch because you've even though the prequels are utter shit, you've lived with him through the prequels.
Right.
He's a main character in that sort of. So it's like, you're sad.
Yeah. Right. Now I can't wait for now, Joe. Like Joe said, episode 8, man. Can't wait to see the trailer for episode 8. I'm like, I know. Episode 8, man. When's the trailer? May?
March.
I think April.
April, yeah.
It's not May the Force be with you?
I think they're going to show it at Celebration. I think they're going to show it at Celebration first, then they'll release it like a couple weeks afterwards.
Okay.
I know that there was an article today that said that they're going to start filming 9 in 2017, early 2017.
I think that's a good idea.
That's going to be ready a year in advance almost.
That's fine. You know what it is? Maybe they're doing that because maybe they'll have a concept for 10, 11, 12, and they're just not going to say anything, or no?
It's possible.
I think so.
The good thing is that episode 8 comes out in December, doesn't it? And then I think it's May that Han Solo comes out. So you've got a short.
Is Han Solo coming out May?
It's May, isn't it?
Oh, they are.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice 6 months apart. We were supposed to have that originally, remember?
You've got less, because I after seeing Rogue One, I can't wait a year.
I know.
So it's nice to know that after that, we've only got to wait 6 months.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and I know that we have a lot of members of our casts, a lot of our cast members that are either saw the movie or will see the movie, so we're probably going to be talking about this all week on the Everything Show. So if anybody wants to be on, new, old favorites, we'll come on. We'll talk about it. We can't all cram you in there tonight because, unfortunately, I got home really late, and I do apologize for that. But we will talk about it the whole week. So make plans, make arrangements. Connor will work out a schedule or something, and we'll try to get you all on here on the Everything Show to talk about Rogue One. And it is deserving of doing many, many casts, right, Chris? So.
I definitely think so.
Yeah, absolutely. So other than that, I don't even want to talk about anything else other than Star Wars for this cast. So may the Force be with you. Go see Rogue One and see it again and again. Take care. Bye for now.